Hi everybody. I decided to do my project, my speech, on something that I'm very passionate about, something that I love, which would be NASCAR, and the history of NASCAR to be more specific. It's more than just a bunch of rednecks dumping a bunch of money in some race cars, drinking beer, and racing at a short track on Saturday night. Um, actually, alcohol has a lot to do with it. It goes back to the Prohibition period from 1920 to 1933, when moonrunners, the term for them, would basically take up to 200 gallons of moonshine, to be specific of what alcohol it is, put it in the back of their, would always be coupes, two-door cars. Usually Fords back in that period of time were very, very, very popular because they just had the fastest motor, the most powerful motor, to be able to run from the cops. So these moonrunners would run from the cops down some dirt roads, down some mountains, things like that, to where they would be able to get a lot of car control experience behind the wheel. So they started racing each other, and the money they were able to make off of the moonrunners and the bootlegging of the moonshine, they were able to put back into their cars, which goes back to the saying today in racing where money can buy speed. So that whole thing goes back to even the 1920s. The more that they raced each other, they started to organize events, basically races. They built short tracks in the middle of fields, mainly dirt tracks. So I would think that dirt tracks started more than asphalt tracks. Granted, the Prohibition period did get lifted in 1933, but it was just beer and wine was allowed, and still like vodka type alcohol still was not allowed. So bootlegging moonshine still happened. Which actually one of the originals of the sport, Junior Johnson, he was the first inductee into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. He was a bootlegger, and I even read an article that he said that it was a massive advantage over the other drivers he raced against being a bootlegger because of the car control and the experience behind the wheel that he got, from all the years, all the experience he got from bootlegging moonshine, which I find kind of funny. Which actually, in more research, I read that this guy, associate chair of the University of North Carolina, he researched this whole moonshining thing, and read that all, not some or most, all the great drivers at the beginning, all of them were bootleggers, and again, it's because of the experience they had behind the wheel. About a month after World War II ended, there was a big event outside of Atlanta that was formed, and five drivers, five of the biggest drivers that were in this event, were they had basically liquor law violations, and there was estimated 30,000 people in attendance of this event, and the promoter actually banned the drivers, which had led to the 30,000 people rioting. So he allowed them to race, and believe it or not, one of the most famous ones, Ray Hall, he ended up winning it, which had led to attention of Bill France Sr., which you may have heard that name being around the Daytona area, which he did all of his promoting down Daytona area and stuff like that, which had led to him, making the race at Daytona and stuff like that. But he was able to get these good drivers and put them in his races, which made his name even bigger, which that led to in 1947 when he had the meeting at Streamline Hotel, and then created NASCAR in 1948. Safety in NASCAR was crazy. Back in 1949, cars didn't even have roll cages or seatbelts, and now they have 6-point harnesses, the Hans device to hold the head in place from jerking forward in an accident like the one that killed Dale Earnhardt Sr. Safer walls, which basically is a guardrail, like a metal guardrail, and then like styrofoam behind it, and then the concrete wall, so it actually takes the impact when the car hits it. So safety in NASCAR has come a tremendously long way, and you probably won't ever see a driver die again in NASCAR, in my opinion at least. The future of the sport, it's funny, if you ask Brian France, which is the chairman of NASCAR, he says rain is what is going to plague NASCAR nowadays. But if you look at it, the ratings have been going down. He's been playing with the sport and stuff like that, but I feel like the sport's going pretty good. I look for it to get bigger and bigger in the future. I look forward to hearing everybody soon. Thanks.